Topic 1. Geopolitical tensions with asylum granted to Syrian leader Bashar Assad in Moscow and U.S. support for Syria post-Assad regime collapse. Bashar Assad, the Syrian leader, has been granted asylum in Moscow, raising geopolitical tensions in the region. The U.S. is preparing to support Syria in the event of a collapse of the Assad regime, indicating a shift in its foreign policy approach towards the ongoing conflict in Syria. Topic 2. Economic uncertainties with China's CPI growth falling short, U.S. Treasury yields rising, and China's strategic moves for economic growth by 2025. Economic uncertainties are growing in both the U.S. and China. In the U.S., the yield on 10-year Treasury bonds has slightly increased due to investor assessments of recent employment data, which could influence the Federal Reserve's interest rate decisions. Meanwhile, China's Consumer Price Index, CPI, growth was disappointing, rising only 0.2%, while the Producer Price Index, PPI, has fallen for 26 consecutive months, indicating weak domestic demand. To stimulate economic growth by 2025, China plans to adopt a moderately accommodative monetary policy and more proactive fiscal measures, focusing on expanding domestic demand and stabilizing the housing and stock markets. Additionally, China is preparing various stimulus measures to maintain economic growth amid trade tensions with the U.S., particularly in response to potential tariff threats from former President Donald Trump. Topic 3. Potential merger talks between major advertising firms Interpublic and Omnicom. Omnicom Group is in negotiations to acquire Interpublic Group through a stock exchange deal, valuing Interpublic at approximately $13 to $14 billion, excluding debt. This transaction could become the largest deal on Madison Avenue and may be announced this week. If successful, Omnicom, the third largest advertising agency globally, would become the largest advertising company in the world. This merger is taking place in a changing advertising landscape, influenced by the rise of digital advertising and the entry of tech giants into the traditional advertising market. Interpublic has faced challenges in recent years, losing major clients and experiencing slowed growth, while Omnicom aims to accelerate innovation by leveraging new technologies. Topic 4. Ukraine's security risks with Telegram amidst conflict with Russia. Since the Russian invasion, Ukraine has relied on Telegram to share attack information and organize support. However, concerns are growing that the app could be used for spreading Russian disinformation and as a spying tool. In response, Ukraine is limiting the use of Telegram among military, government officials, and critical infrastructure personnel, encouraging the use of encrypted apps like Signal for sensitive communications. New restrictions are also being proposed regarding the disclosure of information about anonymous channel operators. The reliance on Telegram is seen as a significant security issue for Ukraine. Topic 5. China's monetary policy adjustment for the first time in 14 years. For the first time in 14 years, China's Politburo has decided to ease its overall monetary policy. This move is part of a series of measures aimed at revitalizing economic growth and preventing price declines. The Politburo has shifted from a prudent stance to a moderately accommodative policy, suggesting a higher likelihood of interest rate cuts by the central bank next year. There is also a possibility that commercial banks will be allowed to hold fewer reserves and provide more loans. This decision is interpreted as a rare public acknowledgement that Beijing needs to take stronger actions to address the weaknesses in the Chinese economy. The announcement came ahead of the annual Central Economic Work Conference, where the Chinese Communist Party and the cabinet will set the economic agenda for the coming year. This policy shift is viewed as a significant turning point in the market, leading to a rise in the Hong Kong stock market.